Well, hey guys, and welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. I'm so glad you decided to drop on by. It is, yes, January 2nd, which by the way is a Friday, and it is so great to be with you here on the Inspirations for Your Life show. By the way, we are now on the air 4 years in a row, and yesterday marked us starting to be on the air our fifth year. So, really grateful for that, guys. So welcome. If you have not been here before, I want to take the personal opportunity here to say thank you and welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. If you've been here before, well, then welcome back. It's always great to have people that enjoy the show and that want to come back. This is the Daily Motivational Show, the show that helps you improve the quality of your life. So, again, it is great to be with everyone here. I thank you for that. And if you have not checked out believemeachieve.com, what are you waiting for? Go check that out after the show. I think you will definitely find it to be quite amazing. Short form content, long form content, reels, articles, and so much more. So, really do appreciate that, guys. If you check that out, that is after the show. If you're thirsty, feel free to go get yourself something like an RO water, another drink, a beverage, a snack, a fruit, whatever floats your boat. And we'll be here. So come on back to the show. Without any further ado, guys, you know what I want to do? I want to just get right in and start the show off because that's what I do best. Ladies and gentlemen, the way we did this week, I know it was a little bit strange. So this is actually series 54, and it's show series 5, excuse me. And it is show 1. Okay. And he doesn't do it being show 1, it's episode number 2. So, yes, a lot of great stuff here. I think you guys are definitely going to appreciate this. And our title today is Like a Leader in 2026, 30 Daily Habits to Strengthen Relationships. Um, Again, series 5, show 1, episode number 2. The reason we did it this way is that so we did one for like the ending of the year to like yeah from to for like where we were to the to basically the last of the year, which is the 31st. And then we did another one, started yesterday, it ends today, and tomorrow we'll have a brand new master topic. The reason we did that is because I wanted to chunk these off, and then we'll be back on the regular track of the 7-day track. All right, guys. So that's why we did that. All right, without any further ado, let's go ahead and kick this show off. So, welcome everyone to another empowering episode of the ever popular Inspirations for Your Life show, the daily motivational show with me, John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, graduate student, and a passionate lifelong learner. And it is my privilege and pleasure to be with you here every day on this show. The mission is simple: give you practical, bite sized tools you can actually use to become a better version of yourself in how you think, how you lead, and how you connect with the people who matter most. And we do this in a way that allows you to do it immediately. You don't have to wait for like days or months to actually deploy this. You can use it right now. You don't have to buy anything to use it. You can literally use it right now. So that's the thing I like the most. So today we are stepping into a master skill for 2026, communicating like a leader so you can deepen trust, strengthen relationships, and multiply your impact at home, at work, and everywhere in between. So, guys, the master topic for the time is communicate like a leader in 2026, 30 daily habits to strengthen relationships, series 1, episode number 2. And our subtopic is all about the practical people first, communication habits to deepen trust, collaboration, and impact home, and of course, at work. So, without further ado, guys, I want to go ahead and get the show started. Number 1, start one important conversation today with the intention to understand, not to win. Leaders in 2026 are not the loudest people in the room, They are the ones who are most committed to truly understanding the other person. Instead of gearing up to prove a point or win the argument, set a quiet intention before you speak. I'm here to understand, not to dominate. That single mindset shift softens your tone, opens your ears, and tells the other person you matter more than my ego, which is exactly what builds long term trust and influence. So, why don't we start doing that, guys? I think that's a key to success in our lives. And if we started doing that immediately, I think our lives would do a complete 180. And I think that's all we want to see. We want to see that others see that we actually care, not because we have to, but because we want to. We want to show that care in our lives. And I think that's a very, very viable thing, guys. Very, very viable. All right. Number two, ask at least one person, what's one way I can communicate better with you this year? This one question is leadership goal because it turns communication from a guessing game into a partnership. When you ask someone how you can communicate better with them, you invite honest feedback and signal that you're willing to change for the relationship, not just demand change from them. That's important, guys. People remember that vulnerability and our lives are far more likely to open up if we collaborate and give the best in return. So a lot of people don't do this because of their ego getting in the way. I think that's the most important thing that I can say to you. Number three, guys, replace one you never with I've noticed. In a real conversation, you never is a verbal grenade. It attacks identity and it makes people very defensive. So before the real conversation even starts, swapping it for I've noticed or I've observed keeps the focus on the behavior and observation, which invites dialogue instead of a fight. You never did this, you always do that. It gets these motions going for fighting. Those are fighting words. So, this tiny language upgrade reduces drama, keeps emotions from boiling, and most importantly, guys, we don't want them to boil over, but it helps you solve the real issue without damaging the relationship. And I think none of us want to really break bridges or damage a relationship, but unfortunately, it does happen. And hopefully that means something to you. Does that mean something to you? Hopefully it does. Number four. Number four is practice a 5-second pause before responding when emotions are high. In heated moments, the first reaction is usually the one you regret, not the one you're proud of. A simple 5-second pause, one deep breath in, one slow breath out, gives your brain time to switch from fight or flight to thoughtful response. Now, what I like to tell you to do is to do the 4, okay, the 2, and the 6. So the way that works is you inhale for 4, you hold it for 2, 1, 2, and you exhale for 6. Do it again. Inhale for 4, hold it for 2, exhale for 6. One more time. Inhale for 4, hold it for 2, exhale for 6. So that micro pause can be the difference between escalating a conflict and showing up as the calm, grounded leader everyone is grateful to have in the room. And again, it just takes seconds to make these changes. Number 5, guys, schedule a recurring weekly check-in with a key person. Could be a partner, team member, or even a client. Great relationships are not built in emergencies. They're built in consistent, low-pressure check-ins. A simple weekly 10 to 15-minute conversation. How are you? What's working? What's not? Keep small issues from becoming, well, these big grenades, these big explosions. Over time, these check-ins create a rhythm of honesty and true support that makes people feel seen, heard, and safe to speak up very early. So why not do that? Give your ego a break. Number 6, use a person's name once in a conversation and notice their reaction. Hey, Mike. Hey, John. Hey, Joe. Use it a couple times. See, people are drowning in generic, rushed interactions. So hearing their name spoken with sincerity and attention has real impact. It was Dale Carnegie that once taught this to us many years ago. One of the most beautiful things that you can say and a person loves hearing is the sound of their name. My name is John. I love hearing John, 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 or Mike, 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 if your name is Mike, or Mark, 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 Mark. You love to hear the sound of your name, okay? Using someone's name once naturally, not forced, signals that you're present with them. Hey, Mark, I just wanted to reach out to you to see what your thoughts were about this. Not just running, hey, Mark, 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 through a script. And they can tell. Watch their body language, their eye contact, a small smile or a shift toward you. And those are the micro signs, guys, that connection just got a little stronger than it was before. Are you ready for number 7? I know you are. Send one message today that is purely appreciation. No requests attached. Most people only hear from others when something is needed. So a no strings attached, I appreciate you because, well, whatever the message is, it lands like a gift. I know people that always call, like my parents. They call whenever they want to be, well, basically self-invited because they kind of invite themselves to dinner. And that's not appropriate. Take 30 seconds to text, to email, or even DM. Yes, a direct message someone, a specific thing you value about them. No, by the way, ask at the end. Consistent appreciation builds emotional credit in your relationships. So when tough conversations come, they remember you see their value, not just their mistakes. And I think that's important for a lot of us. Mistakes are going to happen, but it's how we choose to respond to them. Number 8, guys, when someone shares a problem, ask, do you want ideas or just someone to listen? A lot of conflict in relationships comes from mismatched expectations. One person wants to vent, the other person starts fixing. By simply asking, do you want ideas or just someone to listen? You respect their emotional need in that moment. Sometimes the most powerful leadership move is not a brilliant solution, it's offering a safe space where the other person feels heard before anything is ever solved. I think that can happen in relationships, whether it's marriages, whether it's friendships, platonic, non platonic, whether it's in business. I think when we lend the listening ear, it shows that we care, not because we have to, but because we want to. And other people can see through that, which is good. Number 9, reflect back what you heard at least once today. Using so what I'm hearing is reflective. Listening is one of the most underused superpowers. Hey, I noticed I got your message the other day. I wanted to say thank you to you and say I appreciate you for taking the time to remember me. So what I'm hearing is, and play back what they shared. You prove you were truly listening. So this is a different so what. This is so what, like, okay, so what I hear you telling me is that you want more time to be alone so you can have your independence, but yet you still want to be part of the group at least once a week so you can brush up on your skills to get better. Am I hearing that right? So not just waiting for your turn, it also gives them a chance to clarify or correct, which prevents misunderstandings and shows that you value accuracy over assumptions. And I think that's an important point, guys. When we can understand that assumptions happen every day, they do, right? But if we can understand what they are and we can understand what they mean, I think that can make a very, very big difference. A difference that I feel can empower us to become a better version of ourselves. Number 10, guys, choose one meeting or interaction where you will speak last instead of first. Leaders who always speak first unintentionally shut down diverse thinking because people begin aligning to the leader's opinion before sharing their own. So why not be quiet for a moment? Let other people talk. By intentionally speaking last in one meeting, you will create space for others to, yes, guys, you will create space for others to contribute and feel ownership over the ideas. You'll often discover perspectives you would have missed, and your team will feel more respected, engaged, and of course, trusted. And thus, they're going to want to do more. Okay. I think that's a very, very important thing to think about, that they're going to want to do more in their lives, not because they have to, but because they want to. All right. A lot of people don't get these things. One thing I like to say is this. Sometimes, you send a message that's purely appreciation and no requests are attached. When you could do that, people see it from miles away. All right. And I think that's a very important thing that many people miss in their lives, not because they want to miss it, but because they just miss it. And so this all happens again because of that ego getting away, right? Put your phone away once while you're talking with someone. I think that'll show them that you care and respect them. Trade sarcasm for a clear, kind line. Can you do that? Could you just put off sarcasm for just a moment? Yes, I know you can. End one email with a clear next steps. Thus, I hope you have a great day. And I'm expecting you to call this person. I'm expecting you to do this or do that. Let me know what questions you have. Okay. Give one specific compliment. Not like, hey, you look great, you smell good, nothing like that. Like, I'm really impressed with your level of commitment and the detail that you're providing in this project. Don't blow smoke at somebody. Give them the truth. All right. Ask one extra follow-up question. Okay, I understand all this. I just have one more question on my sure. So once everybody comes in and they've been checked in, so the last step we need to do is actually verify their ticket a second time before we seat them. Is that correct? Yes. That way we'll avoid any kind of fraud or tickets that don't belong here. Oh, I get it. Perfect. Recap the next steps at one of your meetings. I think that's very important to do. Listen through what you're hearing, but don't interrupt people. Admit once, I was wrong, or you're right. Sometimes it's easier to say you're right than I was wrong. Either means the same thing. Turn one vague ask into something clear. So I know you're asking for more time, but what I'm curious about, what type of time? Do you want more alone time? Do you want more time with me? Do you want more time with your studies? Do you want more time with your job? Let me know. I'm not a mind reader, okay? And I want to respect you. Notice and mirror one positive gesture that they have shown. Ask, what do you think? Before you share it with someone. Turn one complaint into a curious question. Maybe somebody says to you, oh, this is terrible the way they're cooking this. So just so I understand things, the way the food tasted today was not to your liking, I'm gathering. Absolutely not. Okay, was it too salty? Was it too bland? It was too salty. Okay, no problem. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get you another dish, and I'll bring your own salt, and you can salt it yourself. How would that sound? Was the flavor, everything else okay? Yeah, the flavor was great. It was just the salt was off. See how I did that? I turned that complaint into a little curious question. So shorten one message before you send it. I think sometimes we make messages too long. Let silence sit for a few seconds. You'll be amazed at what it can actually do for you. Drop one encouraging note in a group chat. Now, I'm not saying a dissertation. I'm saying one curious note that you could share. Okay. And that silence, like I told you, is pretty amazing. Okay. Ask, what can I unblock for you? Maybe it's a something as simple as access to something, or maybe it's the fact that I'm not allowing you to do something on your own. That could be it. Start a meeting with 2 minutes of listening. Can you do that? Can you start a meeting with just being quiet and just listening? So, good morning, everyone. Appreciate you guys being here for our annual January 2nd stockholders meeting. And normally we go through an agenda, but what I thought I would do was a little bit different today. I thought I'd just go around and just ask some of the shareholders what's on their minds. And then we'll go into our format after that. How does it sound? Okay, great. Soften your tone in one tough moment. I know that's not easy to do. But if you soften it, other people will see that if you can do it, they can do it. Because after all, you're a leader and they're actually modeling you. Does that make sense? Thank someone specifically for their honesty. Maybe you're terrible at something. Okay. Like, John, I like you. You're a great guy. But you're not a plumber. And I'm not a plumber. I know that. So I think sometimes getting honest feedback is important. Not just consistent constructive feedback, but honest, consistent constructive feedback. All right. And thank the person for that. That's a real important thing. Before you go to bed, note one conversation you're proud of. Can you think of a conversation you're proud of? It could be a conversation you had with somebody, or it could even be a conversation you had with yourself. That's pretty meaningful, isn't it? A conversation that you had with yourself that maybe gave you some type of an impact. Not because it had to give an impact, but I feel because it was able to do that. All right. I think that's a very important thing to understand. Hopefully that makes sense. And so I know what you mean by saying, I don't know what it's about. Okay. I think that's important. And what I want to say to you guys, if any of you found value in any of these daily habits or insights, remember, this is just one powerful episode of the ever popular Inspirations for Your Life show, where every day here is designed to nudge you a little bit closer to the person you're capable of becoming. You see, when we become uncomfortable, we grow, we learn. And I think that's hard for some people to understand, like what that means. And I know that that's something that a lot of people don't quite understand. Okay. I think it's something a lot of people don't understand. And I know what you mean, but I think it's important to understand that it comes down to who we are. Okay. Who we are. And that's a very, very important thing. So to go deeper, and of course, to get more tools and insights like these, please be sure to subscribe and also be sure to share this with someone who's ready to communicate and live like a true leader in 2026. See, it doesn't matter whether you are the leader officially by title. What's a title? You can become the leader, ladies and gentlemen, by stepping up and being part of that role. Even though you may not be the leader of the troop or of the group, you can still empower people. You still can empower people, even as being a seat on a board or being someone as you think is low on a totem pole. Everyone started low on a totem pole. And so the difference between leaders and non-leaders is the leaders actually share their insights. The leaders actually cultivate this environment. And if you help do that, I can tell you that it won't be long. So you're probably wearing one of the leadership caps. So I really thank you for being with me. It is January 2nd, and this is our second day of being on the air, our 5th year. And I'm really very, very grateful for that, more than you can imagine. I hope that you are starting off your January 2026 in a great way. I said before, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Now, just the other day, I started putting my goals out. I'm not finished with it yet, but I'm almost done. And I know how important it is to put my things down so I can know what I want to do this year. And I encourage every single one of you to do the same thing. Inspirations for Your Life started, oh, basically 4 years and like 2 days ago. It started by my desire, my wish to share positive insights with people so they could become a better version of themselves. I've heard about news, I heard about different things that wasn't empowering people, and I wanted to create something that was fun, that was educational, and that would get people curious and want to create in their own lives. I've had other keynote speakers reach out to me and say, John, I love your show. A lot of reasons people like my show is I don't push any products or services on my show. Like, that's not a show. That'd be a sale-a-thon, right? Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, and I am so grateful from the bottom of my heart that you have decided to not only watch the show, but I hope that you will keep following me and keep watching the show or even listening to the podcast if you can't watch the show, and knowing that we're on a journey together. We're on a journey to get better. I help you get better. You help me get better. I don't know if you guys realize that, but each day I do a show, I become a little bit better. And I am so eternally grateful to people that watch me, whether it's right here in New Jersey, whether it's here in Florida, whether it's around the country. I still remember a lady many years ago. I've never heard from her again, but I helped her become a better version of herself by actually getting rid of 4 jobs and now having one and getting her family back. That was something that was priceless. And I think a lot of us try to measure things in only what we can see, but we can measure our life in a lot more. There's a very good Broadway play that was out a long time ago, Seasons of Love, right? And it says, how do you measure love? How do you measure it? You measure it in so many things. You measure it in talk, you measure it in, daytime excursions, you measure it in communications. You measure it in the intentions and the power that you're able to change on someone's life. Have a great one, everyone, and be well.